afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining an AMA session today. It's been ages since we've done the last one, and we've got a lot of exciting materials to share with you today. So once again, thank you so much. It is a privilege to be a part of such an amazing community, and our project is growing non-stop and developing some extraordinary innovations when it comes to the metaverse industry, as well as the game that we are planning to release step by step. And today we're going to share a lot of useful information with you that will tell you a lot about the actual facts. So today's session is designed to be as efficient as possible, to produce as many questions as possible from your side, and obviously get as many answers as possible from our side. But at the same time, what we want to take you through today is to actually clear out some facts that are important for your decisions to be involved or not to be involved in this project, and we will clearly define the profit-making model inside of our game. This is really important for many of the players that are planning to join this game. And we believe that it's a very important section that we have to pay attention to. And we will clearly go with you today explaining how the whole profit-making model will work and how can you potentially benefit substantially from SIDUS and its future ecosystem. We will also show you some amazing details from the open world throughout today's session. It will be done by the end of this session. So for the first part of this session, we'll try to take you through a couple of interesting models that we've designed to show to you regarding the profit-making model, as well as the matchmaking system, as well as the marketplaces elements and many other things. And by the end of the session today, we're going to introduce to you the open world, how it's going to look, and we will actually demonstrate that to you, so you've got a clear understanding as to what to expect once the actual open world is released. I want also to welcome one of my co-founders and business partners, Andrey Sudarikov. He is an art director and one of the co-founders of SIDUS, a very knowledgeable man with a lot of expertise. Previously worked for a large number of different gaming projects, as well as the cities and the governments around the world. So please welcome Andrey. Andrey, are you here?
Hello, guys. Thank you, Bogdan. Nice to be here. Yes, I'm Chief Creative Officer of project, and we are creating the world. And it is a big pleasure for me to be here today and to show some of things which we are creating now. It is very big amount of different creatures, robots, worlds, and so on. But we will show you some small part of it, which we are ready to show, to share. And it is big pleasure for us to work with you, with people who believe in SIDUS, who want us to create something strong, something big. Thank you so much. And I'm here. I'm glad and ready to answer all questions if you have something about creative process.
Thank you, Andrey. Appreciate it. We also have our amazing game producer and another co-founder here, Roman Povolotski, a genius man who created a lot of stuff behind the in-game economy of this game and the balancing system and many interesting things that you don't really see straight away, but it's all done at the back end and for you to enjoy in the game, to make sure you have a fair balance and the opportunity to earn no matter how much money you have. Everyone has a chance in our game to be wealthy, successful, and rich. Welcome, Roman. Please, if you have your chance to, turn on the camera and just say hello to everyone.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you that you're playing our game and waiting when your heroes will make money for you. My main goal is to make you happy and fill up your pockets with SIDUS tokens and grow up as much as possible. So good luck to us all, because we are very focused on it, and I hope with your support we will change this market and make what we want. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. Thank you so much. So once again, we'll try to answer as many questions as possible throughout these sessions with you guys. However, I want to get back into the structure that we planned for you guys today, and we'll take you through a little presentation that has some interesting details for you to look at. Anthony is one of our senior editorial admin people here. He's going to look after us and will take us through the presentation. Anthony, would you be able to open up the presentation and put it on the screen? Would you be so kind, please? Thank you. So on the screen, you will see a little presentation that we've prepared for you guys. And once we will see it on the screen, there we go. Yep, I can see it now. We go to the next slide, and we will take you to the global quest. Now, as you know, the SIDUS ecosystem and the metaverse. Anthony, would you be able to go to the next slide, please? Okay. Yep. So yeah, I think I've got a bit of a delay here. The SIDUS metaverse and the ecosystem is designed to be as transparent and as decentralized as possible, right? So our idea is, instead of us controlling all of the streams of profit within the game, like in many games out there, we try to share it with the community. Right, so the general idea of SIDUS is to share as much as possible, okay, to be as centralized as possible and have community being heavily involved within our ecosystem and contribute as much as possible as well. So Global Quest is designed to, we are launching it very soon. Basically, it's coming up in the next few updates. And what it is that basically it's an opportunity for all of our players and the contributors to the SIDUS ecosystem to participate in the module construction process. Now, when we speak about decentralization and the community build-up process within the SIDUS, we think of different sections or different modules. Let's split them up into a couple of different sections. Anthony, would you be able to go to the next section for me? The next slide. We will have quite a few sections or modules within the game, which will include buildings or modules such as space shuttle, shipyard, shop, marketplace, recreation module, which we'll talk a little bit later, scholarship ecosystem, in which you would be able to do a lot of different rentals and lendings to the other scholars who are coming from the guild or some other project that is willing to play the game or participate within a certain task of the SIDUS. Any of these modules can be constructed by you. Okay, so you as a player will contribute your resources, the ones that you are collecting right now, and your SIDUS or senior tokens to contribute to the build of this particular module. So when it comes to marketplace, it's not just us who is going to make the royalty, it's also you, right? So technically, developers don't get out of it anything really. The fee generation system will be done in a way of 50% of whatever the fee is getting out of the transaction. And let's say you want to buy something on the marketplace, you go to the marketplace, you buy some resources from an existing player, right? So let's say you buy some aluminium or copper from another person. So you pay a SIDUS token to that person, you're buying these resources, and you're paying a little transaction fee. And the transaction fee will be defined by the future upcoming announcements. However, 50% of these transaction fee will go to the treasury, which will eventually collect the SIDUS tokens and will burn these tokens from the circulation. So that will create a deflationary model to reduce the number of tokens within the circulating amount. The other 50% of this transaction fee will be redistributed to all who participated in building this particular module. So if you are the one who co-founded the marketplace and you contributed your resources and you contributed your SIDUS tokens, you will be eligible to receive a certain percentage of royalty, or let's say a transaction fee, into your wallet. And the beautiful part of it is that it's a lifetime process. Means you will become a co-owner of the business inside of our game, literally for the lifetime. Okay, so if we have millions of players, all of those players are using this marketplace to buy and sell stuff, and all of them pay a little transaction fee. This fee will be redistributed among everyone who participated in co-founding this particular module from the beginning, right? That's why all of our early stage believers, which is you guys, will be quite successful, because you will be co-owning the game. You will be the ones who will own the certain modules like marketplace, or you will own the shop. And the shop is also a decentralized model where we're going to sell some items, and the transaction fee will also be redistributed among the co-contributors of this shop. Or let's talk about, for example, Space Shuttle Shipyard, where the shuttles and spaceships will be built. You will also be the co-owner of this production model, or a co-owner of this module, which will also redistribute profits to you lifetime. I'm just trying to make it a little bit simple for you guys so it doesn't really overcomplicate things. The percentages you will see a little bit later, but what I want to remind you right now is to collect as many resources as possible and be as active as possible, because you right now are being in the historical momentum of this game. When this game is very, very tiny, early stage beta, we haven't even shown anything really. It's like less than 1%. So you can't blame us for not showing anything, because we haven't really shown anything. This is a little tiny game, which is not even a game. It's just some sort of process for us to obtain as much feedback and as many arrows claims as possible from our players. But once we'll release certain modules step by step in the upcoming months, you will start feeling confidence and understanding the idea of this game is that this game will not just be an open world. This game is not just going to be an amazing, exciting fighting process, dungeons and space battles and a whole bunch of other variations of different tasks, but it will be a very decentralized model in which players will be co-owners of these particular modules. Let's go to the next slide, and I'll take you through some details. So when you basically decide to participate in building a particular module, let's say you want to participate in the marketplace construction, right? So what will happen is you will press invest, and then it will appear, there will be a special screen appearing on your computer or a mobile phone device, and you would be able to choose which resources or which items you want to contribute to the construction of this particular module. So on the screen, we have a space shuttle shipyard, and you can see a list of resources which you can contribute, right? So you can choose copper or aluminium or steel or slate or red granite, etc. All of these resources that you are collecting right now, that will be important because they would allow you to contribute to the construction of this particular module. Now, once the resources are collected from many, many different players, and obviously the construction of such a big module will require a lot of resources, will require a lot of SIDUS tokens. Once it's all collected, the building process will get started, right? And on your screen, you will see a percentage on the left-hand side showing you how much you co-own of this particular module, how many percentages you will receive from the entire transaction fee that will come into the wallet of Treasury and will redistribute it to the co-founders of this particular module. Let's say it's $1 million and you contributed a lot of resources and you contributed a lot of SIDUS tokens, and your percentage in the entire pool of redistribution is 11%. That means you'll receive $110,000 into your wallet in the SIDUS tokens, and you can do anything you want for that. And that will be happening every single day. A little bit by little bit will be coming to your wallet, depending on the number of players who are currently using this particular module. So more players we have, more money you make, right? So basically, as I said, that is an ideal model for our players to be super motivated to play this game, to constantly support us and try to share our objectives, is because you basically own the game as well. same as any other player who is willing to participate in the co-founding particular module. It is a very innovative way, because many games out there these days, what they do is they simply create an infrastructure, a marketplace, or a shop, or a particular construction module, and all they do is they receive the profits themselves. They don't really share it with anyone. They just give it to their own. They take it to their own pocket, and that's pretty much it. End of story. We want to give it back to the community. We don't want to receive any funds, but we actually want to give it back to the community, and that will be a massive difference, or I would even say game changer for us, comparing us to many other games out there. Let's go to the next slide, please. So as I said, we're going to have quite a few different modules within the ecosystem, which will include shop, will include marketplace, will include reproduction facility, will include scholarship, will include shipyard, will include upgrade center, and the entertainment center, in where we're going to do the concert with celebrities and some lectures and educational sessions and many different things as well. So let's get started with the shop. What is the shop? So in our game, inside of our game, we're going to have, Ensign, can you please take us to the next slide, please? So inside of our game, we're going to have a couple of systems, right? The first one is the shop. The shop is the place where you buy the original items coming from the developers, right? That could include things like drop boxes, the special toolkits for construction modules, which we're going to introduce later on. You would be able to buy some land plots from the developers as well. You would be able to buy some toolboxes with the space shuttles and many more. So that's the first initial digital asset content that you are getting. It's coming from the shop, okay? And you can also co-own or be a co-founder of the shop. So any transaction happening via this particular shop will be redistributed to you as well as a co-founder. That's why I keep saying, keep accumulating SIDUS tokens and resources, is because it will be your only chance to be the co-founder of these modules. And I'm not kidding. This is what I do myself, because I have no other option. Is I have to fight in the battle arenas right now, and I have to collect the resources and SIDUS tokens. And then once the chains appears, I can also be a contributor to building this particular shop, right? And I will start earning some funds out of it, because that is a fair and very transparent model. The second the second structure that we're going to have will be marketplace, right? And the marketplace is a secondary marketplace where people, and it will all happen inside of the game, right? Keep in mind, keep in mind that we try to avoid these external companies like OpenSea, etc. Nothing wrong with them. It just overcomplicates the process. What we face right now with the current OpenSea/external sources is that it creates a lot of obstacles and problems and issues for people to understand how to transfer item from OpenSea into the game, how to start playing the game, etc., etc., etc. This is really complicated. So everything you will see in the next few months will be moved towards the game itself. So everything will be inside of the game. Marketplace, shop, your chats, internal communication chats to the other players, and many different things. Everything will be inside. In your portfolio, in your profile, in your in-game account, many different things. It all will be there inside, and then to your wallet, lifetime. So right now, if you will use this chance to participate in building these modules, you will solve many of your problems in the future, because this is your historical, unique chance to become the co-founders of this game. In the future, nobody will have this chance. It will be gone. Once it's built forever. Everyone will be using this marketplace in 10 years, in 20 years, in 50 years while the game exists. You will be getting the royalty into your wallet. And those people in the future, they would not be able to participate in the module because the module has already been built, right? So you can't go back in the past and do it again. It has already happened. So make sure you're a smart player and you understand what I'm talking here. This is important for you to understand. Otherwise, you're going to miss out your opportunity. Let's go to the next slide, please. The next module, it's the reproduction center. Now, this is a very important section for you to understand. So many people ask the question, I bought an NFT hero, how can I benefit from it? So there are two different types of NFTs we have. We have an Academy, Sidus Academy, and we also have the Genesis collection. Now, anyone who holds NFT collection, NFT hero from Sidus Academy and Genesis collection will be in a very unique position in the future, because you will be the ones who will create new characters for new players, not us, you. And that will happen via the reproduction center. By the way, keep in mind that doesn't include the other 9 races, because we're going to issue a limited edition for each race in the future with a small number of cards. However, the majority of cards will be produced by the players. Let me explain that to you. So if you have a common character from the Sidus Academy collection or a Genesis collection, you will go to the reproduction center. What will happen is, if you have some resources and you have your hero, you will have a certain number of characters that you can produce accordingly to your the rarity, as we call it. So if it's a common character, you would be able to produce another 10 characters. If it's an epic character, you would be able to produce, let's say, 500 characters. If it's a legendary character, you will be producing thousands of characters. We're talking about 5,000 to 10,000 characters. So what it means to you is you will be the owner of the massive business that will produce characters that will be purchased by the future players who will want to play this game. And I can assure you, once we will launch at least 10% of this game, many people will want to play this game, right? Right now, not anyone, like, I wouldn't say, sorry, not, I didn't want to mean that not anyone want to play it, but what I'm saying is not many people understand what the hell is going on right now, because it's less than 1%, and only patient people will, you know, obviously we will have this opportunity to grab as many benefits as possible. But then down the track, and that always happens, this is how people work, right? Once they see something very raw, very, very early, they're not really big fans of, like, they're not really willing to try, etc. But down the track, once it gets better, it just gets popular. Recently, I saw the game called Lost Ark. It's in a Korean game, and they've launched back in 2019. And many people tried it and they didn't like it. And then 2 years later, actually 3 years later, they've launched it again, completely upgraded. And now they don't have enough spots in the servers. So they have to launch new servers to accommodate millions and millions of players joining their game, right? So that's what happens. That's the human's nature, is when it's small and there are plenty of opportunities, they don't use it, you know, but when it becomes super popular and everyone starts to talk about it, everyone wants to try, right? That will, most likely, that's what will happen with Sidus. So if you own a particular character now, make sure you keep it and you hold it, because it will be your reproduction tool to produce some other characters. And on those characters will be generating you substantial revenue, because you will be selling characters and people will be buying these characters from you, right? That will happen in the reproduction center. And that will be a very unique mechanism for our players to make a lot of money. And I'm super excited about this module, because this module has not been done by anyone in the past. That will be the first time when the players will actually have this reproduction capability. It's not like breeding, it's the actual reproduction model that will, you know, preserve the value and will not create oversupply of the market, because this particular model designed to create a balance between supply and demand. So players will see if they need to produce more characters because there are millions and millions of players joining in, or they see there are not enough players right now, so they don't need to worry to reproduce these characters again. So that will be a supply and demand equilibrium, right? So it is a very interesting approach to take for us as a gaming studio, but I'm sure many of you will understand the value behind it, because we want to bring this value to you, not us. Once again, we want to make sure that you as an NFT holder gets the biggest value. Okay, so once again, those who hold the legendaries, you basically got yourself a reproduction machine. So these legendaries will reproduce you so many characters, and you just make a lot of money out of selling these characters. Even if you have common character, you won't be able to reproduce so many characters like legendaries, but you will make quite a few characters as well, and you'll make substantial funds as well that will pay off your initial purchase and will make you some money, right? That's according to the in-game economics within our ecosystem. So it is a very important module, and you will also be the co-founder of this module. So you will own this module, and you will also receive some benefits, not just as a reproduction owner, but you will also receive some royalties from the transaction fees, because in order for you to initiate the reproduction, you will have your character plus some resources, and then you press process, and then it starts processing. It says it will take 48 hours to reproduce the new character. But in order to initiate the process, you have to pay a little fee as well, right? And this fee, once again, half of it goes to get burned, and the other half redistributes among the co-founders of the reproduction center. Let's go to the next stage, the next slide. We call it the scholarship system, or I mean, I'm sure many of you are already aware of it because many games have a scholarship system. You will also be able to participate in the scholarship transactions. So in order for you to create a QR/URL code, you would need to pay a little fee. And this fee, once again, is getting redistributed to many people who participated in co-building this particular module, once again. So it is a very unique chance for you to become an owner in many of these modules. And imagine if you have a little bit of an ownership of every module overall together, that will make you a fortune down the track. And this game will become famous. And we believe, and we'll do everything possible, and we'll work hard as hell to make this game as successful as possible. It will happen. It will happen one day. The next slide, item improvement. Item improvement is the special module that is designed to allow people to upgrade their weapons and armors. So if you have your common armor, you would be able to come to this special item improvement service, put some commons, like let's say common armor, and then you put some gem or some resources, and then you press upgrade. And it goes through the process, and then it gives, hey, congratulations, your item is upgraded to the uncommon level. Or bad luck, one of your items, one out of 3 common armors that you've provided is broken. So you have to give it a chance, have to give it a try again. You know, that's going to be an upgrading center where you would be able to upgrade your weapons with a certain probability or a certain chance. It is also going to be an exciting process, and you will see a lot of different armors in the next slide. So with the special weapons that you would be able to upgrade. Just while I'm talking about these modules, I can see one of the people in the chat actually says, admins, we don't need in-game such details, please, we need roadmap of marketing. It is a very naive approach for many people. They don't really understand that we're actually building the game, not some financial product that is needing a lot of liquidity because of the marketing. Marketing can only happen if there is a good game. Okay, if you're going to send people to a very raw early stage beta without modules, without too many different functionalities and features, nobody's going to play this game. Okay, so marketing is only applicable when you actually produce a lot of content for people to enjoy. And for us to produce this content, it will require some time, because what we do here is, as I said, we are creating a revolutionary product or project that is using innovative stacks that not many gaming studios in the past have ever used, right? So we don't use Unreal Engine 5, right? We're building the browser game that will have a AAA quality of a PS5, right? And in order for us to do that, it will take a lot of time, but it will also have a lot of different complexities for us to execute and solve to make sure you have a very smooth experience on your mobile device or your PC, right? So we are making a very serious product here. It's not just about marketing, and the marketing has to be at the right time, okay? So please don't try to make a mistake. Let's go to the next slide. Now, the Space Shuttle Shipyards. The shipyards, or the Space Shuttle Shipyards, we call it, it's another module for you to build the spaceships and the shuttles as well. It will also be a massive module with a lot of opportunities for you. First of all, to become the co-owner of this spaceship yard. And secondly, to basically observe the entire process, or amazing process, of building these spaceships, because these spaceships will be very fundamental, massive, huge. They are designed by one of the best artists in the entire conceptual art industry. We have designers who previously worked in the top projects in the past. We've selected only the best out of hundreds of different selections that we've recently published on the YouTube. I'm sure many of you saw it, that we've been selecting a lot of different variations, and we finally managed to choose something that we really like in terms of the design, in terms of its concept. So let's go to the next slide and show it to the audience. So that's basically the style that we're going to stick to. It is done by quite a few people who were involved in creating the style and the conceptual art of Ferraris and Lamborghinis in the past. And the spaceships are quite unique. The dimensions are huge. The sizes are different. The capacity will be quite different as well, depending on the spaceship capacity of number of seats, and there will be a different variations for you to select from. But those spaceships will be quite extraordinary and beautiful. All right, so we try to make spaceships as beautiful as possible, so you enjoy as an owner of the spaceship and you're proud of this particular creation. In the future, we're going to have a lot of customization tools for you to choose from. For the guilds would be able to place their logos on the spaceships. For the personal players, they can also do some customizations and change the colors and many different things. So there'll be a lot of interesting innovations that we're going to put inside of this game. Once again, it is a metaverse, so we want to make sure that you have a selection of tools for you to create inside of this game. So we don't want just to create the game for you. We will also allow you to create your own rooms, to create your own land plots, to create your own customizations. We will also have ability for other games to create their games inside of our game. Okay, so there will be a lot of similarities when it comes to the set of tools, like in the sandbox, where you can actually create stuff inside of our game as well. And that's coming up a little bit later, once we've established the infrastructure for the other gaming studios to come to us and say, we want to have a browser game, but we want to create a AAA browser game. Can you please provide us with the set of tools? Here we go. Here it is for you. You can start developing it and enjoy the process. Now, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about the project scaling plan. Okay, some players are asking questions about some people are asking questions about the game. So I will just quickly answer your questions. So we continue the presentation. So perhaps some people say, what if we don't have enough players to contribute to all of the resources needed to build the market? Does that mean it will not be completed? Or some people are struggling because they're not able to fight against other players. So there is not enough players at the present. Well, The answer to it is because it is a very early stage right now, okay? So we don't really need too many players right now. The reason for that is because currently it's all about beta testing. We are going through a bit of a transition to a couple of improvements within the backend. So it will happen in the next few weeks when we're going to turn on some VFX effects, because right now when you play the game, it doesn't really make that impression to you as the high quality game, very raw product. And we know it, right? It's just a matter of fact. You don't really need to tell us that. The VFX is not there. The sounds of attacks is not there. There are so many pieces and elements that are missing, okay? Well, wait for it. It's coming up. It's coming in the upcoming updates, and you will be quite impressed as to what you will see. You won't be disappointed. As I said, it's just a matter of time for us to do it. And once we have it, there will be more and more players starting to join in. We have a lot of guilds who are waiting for the scholarship system. There are more than 20,000 players right now waiting for the scholarship system to be launched. So once we launch it, we do expect a very large influx of players starting to play this game. However, we postpone it purposely to make sure we update what needs to be updated, and then we will introduce the scholarship system so people can start generating QR codes and URL links to give it to the scholars to start playing. But it's just a matter of time when you will see a lot of players starting to join this game. Once again, as I said, in the next few months, you will notice a substantial difference as to what you see now and what you will see in the next few months will be quite a different impression. When it comes to the resources, we understand that for some modules, people would be struggling to collect these resources at the first shot. That's why we're going to introduce a little lottery system in the next few weeks, where you would be able to buy with Sidus token. You would be able to buy a little lottery ticket. Once you open the lottery ticket, you can get some resources inside of it. And the Sidus tokens that we'll collect will most likely announce and burn them. But the resources that you will be able to get out of those lottery tickets will also be able to help you to have enough funds and enough resources to contribute to building these modules as well. So there'll be two different types of resources: the resources that are coming from the game and the resources that are coming from the lottery tickets to accelerate the process of you participating in co-founding the modules that I've mentioned before. Okay. Now, so in terms of the scalability, first of all, we're going to burn the remaining NFTs. We'll only keep some NFTs for some lottery giveaways and stuff. The rest will get burned. Okay. So you are the only ones and Genesis holders who will be in a very unique position. Once again, you will have reproduction model. You will be producing new characters for new players. Remember that. That's very important, guys, because you will make a lot of money out of it. That's just a matter of fact, okay? You will make a lot of Sidus tokens. The second point that I was going to say is when it comes to module production, it's not just about resources. It's also about characters. Because if you have some common characters, your redistribution model will be a little bit less comparing to those who have some epic and legendary characters. So we try to reward some epic holders and Genesis, and some legendary holders as well. So if they have, for example, 3 characters in their wallet and they're all legendaries, their redistribution rate will be higher comparing to you as the common. Also, the number of characters will be affecting your distribution percentage. If you have only one character, that will affect your percentage. If you have 3 characters and you will contribute these characters to the production of this module, that will increase your percentages as well. Keep in mind, there are 2 different phases to create a module. The first one is collecting resources and putting these resources in the production line. The second phase, you have to delegate a couple of your characters to the production of this module. If you don't put any characters, your percentage will go down substantially as well, okay? So make sure you put your heroes inside of the module production model as well, okay? So 2 phases, once again, resources and Sidus. The second part is your characters. So you're going to contribute, you stake your characters inside to build the module, okay? And that will also affect your percentage of redistribution. Now, in terms of the worldwide marketing campaign. Once again, I want to make it real clear so we don't really have any confusions. Marketing only brings efficiency and result if there is a good product, okay? Only because we do marketing doesn't bring the result. When people come and they see a raw product, they will have a bad impression. What does that mean? It means first impression will be lost, okay? The first key impression has to be there. If we disappoint people, they will not come again, okay? So we don't really want to disappoint people right now. That's why we don't really need a big marketing right now until we launch a couple of major modules, a part of the open world, and much more improved bottling system, which is coming up. So it will happen, as I said, in the next few months. And up to that time, everything will happen organically. Because what will happen is people will see how much improvement has been happening within this project, how much they can earn from this project, how cool this project is, and how active this community is. And it will just grow organically. That's what happened with Axie. Nobody really wanted to buy it in the past. It was at the bottom for quite a long time. People could just go and buy it until community realized, hey, this is actually a pretty cool model. You can come, you can play, you can earn SLP, and you can make a lot of money out of it. The same will happen with SIDUS. Right now, we're at the bottom when people think, well, it's just too far away. It's not worth it. Those hodlers, those big believers who are supporting us right now, they will be the first who will get rewarded from the game, because once the game will get attention it deserves, it will blow up, okay? It's just a matter of time. So marketing has to happen organically. It should not be created artificially. Otherwise, it just seems to me like a pump and dump scheme. We don't want it, okay? We want to get away from these schemes. We actually want to have an organic, consistent growth along with our community. So please try to be supportive and try to understand what we're trying to say here. The second part is that marketing will happen, okay? Now, we are planning to do a professional marketing. Marketing needs to be done in a very organized manner. What it means is that you can't just do Cointelegraph publication, Business Insider, or Forbes article. It's not a marketing. Marketing is an organized event when it's done by multiple of different streams simultaneously, and all of these streaming sources are educating people about advantages and benefits that our game can potentially bring to these people. And that's where the key reaction happens. Once people realize, well, here is my opportunity to change my lifestyle, people will come, okay? It will happen, and we're already planning it, along with some major events in the future. So keep waiting and be patient. That's all I say, because we know what to do. We know how to do it. You as a hodler or as a believer, you either have to support this project or search for another project that provides you a very pump and dump quick scheme, okay? Because here we're building a substantial and very, very complex project. We're not creating a 2D pixel game for you to enjoy and then get bored within the week, like many games out there do these days. We are creating a very, very complex game, okay? And we're trying to make it as efficient as possible. So once again, try to be patient and you will see what I mean. Let's go to the next slide, guys. I think that will be interesting for you to see some other stuff. So soon we're going to introduce the new matchmaking system. The new matchmaking system is designed to get rid of 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 battles. We're going to have 3 versus 3 fighting arenas, where we're going to have some players joining in, depending on the number of characters they have on their MetaMask wallet. So if you have 1 character, for example, and the other player has 2 characters, you will be in a single team. made of 3 characters. So you will join in with your 1 character and you will wait for another 2 characters to join, right? And the same will happen on the opposite side, right? So once it happens and everyone is happy, the matching happening and you get into the battle, right? You will work together as a team. Means you have to heal each other, you have to support each other, create some defensive shields, and do some strategies together. Okay, that will create much more interesting experience for you once we release those updates and BFX effects and many different things in the future. And it will make it fair because many people are struggling these days with one versus one. And 2 versus 2, because they think that that's the quick way to get some tesseracts and loot boxes. We want to make it fair. So that's why we're introducing a new matchmaking system 3-on-3. Okay, and then you will see it very soon. It's coming up. In the future, you will see a lot of improvements in the environments. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. So environment is a big part of our game. Okay, when you enter the battle arena or you enter the metaverse, the environment has a certain functionality around you. So if you enter the battle arena, you will see some, just 1 second, hold on. You will see some bushes, mushrooms, you will see some lizards, you will see some crazy stuff, pit bosses, and many different things that you will see inside of our game that will be making an environment around you. So when you fight against each other, you have to take this environment into the consideration. Because what happens if you ignore it, then most likely one of those environmental elements can potentially damage your health or can destroy your teamwork, destruct you, or even kill you and your characters. So you have to pay attention to these little elements around you, and they will be introduced in the next updates, and they will create much more interactive experience for you to fight against other players. At the same time, pay attention to these environmental things, and at the same time, look after the pit bosses that will randomly appear on the different battle arenas. There will be fire battle arenas, there will be underwater battle arenas, there will be a whole bunch of different battle arenas. What you see now is only 2 battle arenas. They can be a little bit boring, I totally understand it. But down the track, you will see a lot more. The reason why we've only introduced 2 battle arenas is because we want to get as many reports as possible from you guys regarding the in-game mechanics and some other balances that are really important to be fixed before we roll out the massive update with a lot of different things and updates, right? So now I think we've covered a lot of it in terms of the environmental aspects and the elements. I will quickly answer a couple of questions from the chat, and then we can go towards the exciting part, which is an open world. Just 1 second, пока не показываю еще. Yeah, switch. All right, so let's go to a couple of questions. Let's go. It's pretty nice social experience. Make me remember how fun is played to regular games versus playing maybe where cooperative used to see. Yeah, so see, that's good. We've got a bit of a feedback here. It is a social experiment, right? So we want to make sure people play with each other. They try to think, because this game is not just a repetitive action. You press the button, skip, fire, attack, etc., etc. We want to make it interactive. Okay. In order for us to make it turn by turn, however, interactive and engaging, we have to make people work together. All right. And there will be a lot of reasons for you to work together because the reward is quite high. You know, if you pay attention to the little details, you will get rewarded. And as a result, you can get rich. Okay. So, yes, you would be able to play with your friends. There is a question here, if we introduce 3 versus 3, will I be able to play alongside with my friends? Of course, you know, if you have your friends waiting in the matchmaking room, you can just log into this room and play alongside with your friends. No problems at all. Of course you can. The Genesis collection, by the way, we have a question here. What are the plans for the Genesis collection rare NFTs in terms of a rarity? First of all, we're actually planning to do a bit of an adjustment for the Genesis collection appearance. I think we can improve the visual representation of the Genesis collection substantially. So right now we have over 100 artists working together, creating some new visual representations of your characters and improving the rarity system substantially. So it will change from S1, S2, 5, 6, etc. to something more suitable, okay? And much more attractive, because we want to be making a collection, a Genesis collection that you're proud of, okay? Right now, it is a mixture of different elements. It was an experiment for us to do. I think it was a cool experiment. Many people liked it, but we actually want to make sure that Genesis collection looks really cool, okay? And we'll try as hard as possible. And once we'll have a couple of options for you to choose from, we're going to do voting for all of our Genesis holders to choose which representation of their Genesis character they like the most. And then we're going to do some upgrades. The Genesis collection will have a lot of different things that are coming up for it, especially when it comes to certain processes involved within the reproduction center, when it comes to the incubation of creatures, and many other things. It's coming up, the launch pad that will be associated with your Genesis collection, and will have some direct impact towards the allocations for the Sidus starter and many other things as well. So, you've got to wait for it, because what will happen is we have to launch certain modules step by step in the game for you to understand certain things about the Genesis collection inside of this game. If we just randomly announce things, it's not really clear for you. And I'm afraid you'll just get even more confused. So you've got to give us some time to launch the game the way we plan to. And then we're going to introduce step-by-step improvements for the Genesis collection, which is coming up for sure. Now, I think it's a good time for us to show the open world. Anton, let's do it. I think it's the momentum for us to see how the whole thing is going to work. So we're going to have an image right now, and one of my assistants will run around the open world and will show you how it looks. So we're going to see the actual metaverse. And keep in mind, this game is the virtual reality compatible. Okay, so you're going to put on your glasses, you're going to run around and stuff with your character. You will see a lot of things. It's a dynamic metaverse, which means anything you build when it comes to modules will be demonstrated in here as well. If you build a spaceship, you will see the spaceship being built inside of these little slots. If you see, for example, a marketplace being built, one of the offices will be built inside of this metaverse as well. If you build the modification center, you will see one of the major centers being built inside of this metaverse as well, dynamically, live. You will see everything happening while you're doing it from your lobby, okay? The spaceships, you will also be able to control the spaceships from the metaverse. You will go to your own office, or you will go to your own house, or you will go to the Sidus station, for example, and you would be able to have your own collection there. You would be able to see your spaceships there. The spaceships, for example, on the screen you see, they're standing right at the front of you, and you would be able to choose which spaceship you want to run and take to a certain place or a certain planet or a certain asteroid. It's all there as well for you to choose from. A lot of different elements will be introduced inside of this metaverse. Virtual offices, concert halls where we're going to do some, we're going to have some celebrities doing some concerts and performances. We're going to have some special virtual space for people to do some experiments. There will be some special gaming space as well, where some other projects will be having their own games, and you will be able to enter their games as well. For example, if you build your own game and it's compatible to our infrastructure, the other player would be able to join this game and start playing in this metaverse. So there will be a metaverse inside of the metaverse, really, where we call them macroverses, right? There'll be a lot of things happening there. It is cool because, first of all, it's a browser experience, super quality once you play it on a good device. If you play it on an average device, it is an average quality. Don't expect anything outstanding. However, However, if you play it in the powerful device, you will see some substantial improvements in terms of the quality. It's not a pixel / squarey space. It is already a proper high quality stuff that you would be able to travel around and see. Highly efficient. Okay, so once again, as I said, it is compatible to the virtual reality in the future. Super easy to use. Just put on your glasses, wireless glasses, once it's introduced by one of the largest companies, and you're more than welcome to use it, right? No problems at all. Just give me a second, guys, because I've got my charger and my phone is dying right now. So I just got to put on the charger on. Just 1 second. Yep. Okay. Just going to turn on my camera. 1 second. Oh, turn on my camera. Okay. So the camera is not long enough. Oh, sorry, not the camera, the actual cable. So it's going to be a slightly different angle of the camera right now. So yeah, I'll keep talking. Yeah, so basically here you can see how the whole metaverse is designed in a way. You can see that our metaverse is designed in a very different way from other games out there. So basically the story behind the SIDUS metaverse is that the ancient alien race was capable to take over a universal power and designed a hyperloop. Not the hyperloop, I would say, but it's a special hypercube that uses the energy of the universe to be able to connect any space objects to it. And this ancient race was able to use this power to connect some asteroids and some special different space objects to it. So this core made of different energy streams connects the tubes to the surfaces of these space objects. So basically you see these massive cubes made of the asteroid materials, and on every surface of this cube, you are seeing a certain part of the metaverse that will be built by the SIDUS players, which is very exciting because whatever you see, for example, this on the screen, it's your reproduction center. That's where you're going to reproduce your characters. So if you are reproducing the character, it will appear in this particular section here. And you would be able to move around this metaverse and then travel on the spaceship to the different sections, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, so basically, it will be a massive place for you to look around. It is a high quality place. It will be a place for a lot of exciting engagement between players, a lot of different quests, and a lot of opportunities for you to look at. As I said, it won't be a pixel stuff like we see in many other places. It will be finally a proper game where you would be able to see a lot of things happening. And for the actual sliding, so let's go to the next slide, Anton. Yeah, open space. Just going to see a couple of pictures how certain things will look. Let's go to number. Oh yeah, so you can see the open space, like the purple cube is the core that connects different space objects together within the SIDUS station. So the SIDUS station is kind of very interesting sort of geometrical shape that connects different tubes, and tubes are connected to the different surfaces, and you would be able to travel around these surfaces to do some different tasks and things. But once you leave the SIDUS station, you will see the universe full of planets and different inhabitants and creatures and many, many different things that you are planning to see as an adventurer. Let's go to the next slide. It's just another slide will show you how it once again looks. So you see the cubes are connected with the hypercube, And it's all basically written in the book that we will introduce very soon. So we have an American author who is writing a book for us, and our game is actually designed and built on the top of the story from this book. So there will be a lot of explanations for you about the reasons of this ancient race, how it was built, this Sidus station, different worlds, there are creatures and inhabitants, etc., etc. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, some pictures for you to see how the city is going to look, or some bushes from a different planet. So there'll be a lot of things for you to see, guys. It will be a very exciting world, and Sidus is definitely getting there as quick as possible to make your experience as cool as possible as well. Because in the end of the day, we want to make sure that you enjoy the metaverse instead of just being bored. Yeah, so I think we've shown you some major elements that are coming up very soon. Let's go to some questions, because we do have quite a few. Does Sidus keep track of other projects? If so, which ones? Yes, we have a lot of projects that we look at. We check out their progress. It's great because we always are happy to work with some major developers in the industry of the metaverses and the play to earn. Either a cap, I wouldn't say which names because I'm not here to promote some other projects, right? Either a cap of how much Sidus you could actually earn in the day. These calculations will be changed because obviously once we'll introduce the modules, your module participation alone will generate you substantial profits. More plays we have, more profits you will make. So that makes, if it makes sense, obviously it does, hopefully. So there will be a couple of variations for you to make some Sidus tokens. Will be fighting arenas, will be your module co-founding process, will be your dungeons, some battles in the space, some adventures that you will see, professions that you will be able to obtain. You can become a biologist or a miner or a gem cutter and obtain a lot of valuable resources and sell these resources and also make money. So in the next few months, there will be a lot of opportunities for you to earn the Sidus tokens. And that's why I don't really want to say how much Sidus you can earn right now, because things will get better and bigger and profitable throughout the time. So right now it's a certain profit. The other day it's a completely more Sidus tokens that you can potentially earn. How many economists do you have working on the project for the token metrics and the ecosystem? We have a special department run by Roman Povolotski, who is a game producer / the person who is doing the economics along with the other team members. The team is made of 6 people that are looking after the economics, and they work really efficiently. So yeah, I believe these guys will do an excellent job down the track. It's just a matter of time for us to integrate all of the fixes and bugs and replacements for the in-game balance, and you will see what I mean. So the next question is, how will the political parties work? Will this kind of activity be started done mostly in the game later? Yeah, so the politics is a big part of our game. And it will be introduced down the track as the Ministry of Elections. So we will introduce the building, which will be a part of the Sidus station. It will be a massive building where you can come and register your application for registering a political fraction. And once you register your political fraction, you will be selected to participate in the elections, which will happen every month for 48 hours, only once a month. Okay, once you get elected by the nation of Sidus, which will use senior tokens to vote for their favorite political fraction, you will be elected as a leader of your fraction. If you win, you will be elected as a president. And there will be a redistribution of 28 seats of council member seats, like a parliament inside of the Sidus game. These 28 seats will be redistributed among anyone who got any percentage from the voters. So if either the minority or an opposition or a majority got a certain percentage, they will be redistributed accordingly as per the guild's participation. You will see it down the track once we'll launch it. It's coming up as per the roadmap. So please make sure you check the roadmap and have a clear idea as to when to expect it. When the mobile version will be implemented? Well, at this stage, in order for us to implement the mobile version, we have to finalize everything on the PC. So we want to make sure you don't have the same bugs as you have on the PC right now. So more improvements we do, more modules we launch, more updates we do to the battle arena, better quality and smooth process you will have on your mobile device. So just give us some time, let us to finalize this part first, and then we're going to roll out the mobile version as well for you. Now, the next question is, would players get a chance to build the earliest stage of the modules before resources are released for the sale on the open market? Well, you will be the first contributors. If you have resources, you're lucky, because not many people have these resources unless you play the game, right? So that's why I keep saying, you got to play the game. You got to get started. Don't be lazy. Get into it. Yes, it's glitchy, it's problematic, but you got to get into it. Get these resources, because these resources will be quite valuable, at least to say. You will be quite impressed as to what you can do with these resources down the track. Do we reproduce with just one hero? Sounds like the case. That's the way it's being described. No, you would be able to use all of your heroes in the reproduction center. However, there is a limit as to how many characters you can produce per one character. So for example, if you have one common character from Sidus Academy, you can produce 10 characters, for example, right? If you have epic character, you can produce 500 characters. If you have a legendary, you can produce 5,000 characters, right? Now, the thing is, once you've produced, if you use your character, a normal character, common character, and you produce all 10 characters, that's it. Your limit is exhausted. You can't produce anymore. So you have to use your other character, which has not been used in the reproduction center, if it makes sense. So you can use as many characters as you want. You want to make sure that your character has not been used for any reproduction. That's another thing for you to keep in mind. Let's go to another question. How and what can Sidus Heroes offer to investors compared to the gamers, besides just buying tokens and hodl? Sidus Heroes offer compared to gamers. Well, you as an investor, first of all, you possess very valuable assets, right? So players will need your tokens. They will come to you and they will buy these tokens from you. So if you believe in the game, you will be rewarded. The second part is that once the launchpad is introduced, the Sidus data, this launchpad will be directly attached to some in-game progress. So you as an investor, you would be able to go and buy some characters which have already leveled up and use these characters to get some allocations in the launchpad, right? So there will be some guaranteed allocations for you to look at, because there will be some very good projects selected for this launchpad. We're not going to take any random projects, but some good quality stuff that will definitely bring a lot of attention. The investors can also contribute to the production of the modules. So the module production will be a big part of the investors' participation as well, because if investors want to, get as much, if they want to contribute and get as many rewards as possible from the game, I think it will be silly of them not to participate in the module construction process as well. So I think it's very wise, if you have some Sidus tokens, go and spend these Sidus tokens and CNET tokens to participate in the construction of these modules. Because if you do, you will be in a very unique position to get royalties lifetime, as I said. And it's a very cool stuff to have, trust me. I suggest that you don't make us run with our heroes. Instead of give us one main character and we can have those heroes like our pets. Well, that's right, correct. You're not gonna run with all of your characters. You just choose one character and you appear in the metaverse, okay? So you can choose any character you want. It's totally up to you, no problems. The same as pets. You can choose if your pet will run after you and will follow you, etc., etc., etc. So with the exchanges, we are in the process of finalizing details with certain exchanges. We're in the process. As I said, it's not like we don't do anything. It's in the process because those exchanges that we deal right now are quite big. They're not like some small, funny exchanges. I don't want to deal with these sort of exchanges. I want to deal with some serious stuff, right? And if Sidus is aiming to become a AAA game, we need some proper exchanges, right? So That's why we're in the process. Okay? I can't call at what stage it is right now. I can't say their names, but they're good. Okay, and once we'll announce it, you will be quite happy. So the exchanges process is happening. Don't worry, we are working very hard. In the future, will Sidus run on Polygon or on ETH? Sidus will be a cross-chain platform, means it will have a selection of different blockchains for you to choose from. For example, if you want to have Ethereum, you're more than welcome to. If you want to use Polygon, you're more than welcome to. We will also consider Binance Smart Chain. So basically the way it was going to work is you play the game, you play, then you want to withdraw something outside of the game. Let's say you want to withdraw SIDUS tokens, right? Or you want to withdraw NFT card. When you press withdraw, you can select the blockchain in which you want to withdraw it to. It's the same as USDT, right? So when you have on the Binance, you have USDT, you can have USDT on Ethereum, on Avalanche, on Binance Smart Chain, on Polygon chain, on et cetera, right? You can choose which blockchain you want to withdraw it to. The same concept applies here. Once you press the withdraw function, it will withdraw it according to your objectives. So whatever blockchain you choose, it will withdraw it to. And then you can trade it on the decentralized exchanges or a centralized exchange, or you can sell it on the OpenSea, or you can do anything you want with that, really. Doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you. Will raids and dungeons be introduced, or that's not a part of game? Of course it will. Dungeons and raids will be a big part of this game. We'll definitely introduce it. You will love it. It will be fun. What is the reward for the bug bounty? Once you claim the bounty, so once you find the bug and you report it to us, you will get a reward. The reward will be calculated very soon and we'll announce it. I'm sure Roman, who is looking after this process as well, will make an announcement about how much reward will redistribute to all who participated in the bug report process. When will play to earn actually start? Well, technically it has already started. However, it's not functioning in a full-on capacity yet. Okay, so give it 2 months and you will see a lot of improvements and changes. And that's where the real thing will get started. But right now it's a preparation stage, means you still have to take an advantage of it, right? Because if you do nothing, you won't be so lucky like other players who are actually taking an advantage right now. So make sure you use it as an opportunity. I think I've answered a lot of questions, guys. It's just a matter of time, really. I kindly ask you to be patient, and I'm dead serious about it. You know, if you give us time, if you believe in this project, you would not be disappointed, because there's just so much coming. Game, exchanges, amazing partnerships, virtual offices for so many different companies, online metaverse concerts with celebrities, so much stuff, marketing, crazy marketing. We're going to do some big marketing once we are ready, once we feel confident that this thing is ready to take off, all right? If we are confident, not because you are pushing us without really knowing too many details, but once we feel confident that this game will make an amazing impression, we will roll out the massive marketing campaign. And I can assure you, every single corner in the internet will talk about Sidus once we do it, okay? But until that time, make sure you participate as much as possible in the beta version, you report as many bugs as possible, and you follow the entire progress that you will see in this game. Because what will happen in the next few months is the magical process of improvements being implemented inside of this game, and you will see amazing improvements in many different things that you are hating right now. And I totally share your frustration. No VFX effects, no sounds, nothing. It's boring. I don't want to play it. I totally get it. I'm a player. I would probably feel the same. However, our philosophy, and we've mentioned it many times, is instead of hiding the game for years and years and tell you we're going to make the game and we'll launch it in 3 years, instead of that, we decided to launch it, to show a very raw beta, to give it to you and make you feel a little bit weird, because you feel like, well, this is not a final product. and there just has so many errors and problems. And then here we go. You will see the magic happening right at the front of your eyes. And in the next few months, you will be seeing massive improvements, historical changes, huge influx of players, guilds that will start playing the game once the scholarship system is introduced, etc., 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 etc. Everything will just happen organically. Until that time, be patient. That's all we can say. So thank you so much for having us today. It is a privilege to be a part of this community, as we said. We are working really hard for you guys. As I said, this project will make its history at a certain point once it's ready to roll out. Be supportive, be understandable, and try to understand that we are not making some funny low 10K game. We are trying to make a serious project that will set up a certain golden standard in the browser gaming experience that not many projects that ever done before. And that's why we are supported by the top leaders in the industry. That's why Animoca is believing in us, because they are believing in our technology. They believe in us, and they want to scale this project and technology to the other projects, to teach other projects how to program in the browser to make a gaming experience as impressive as possible. Thank you so much for your attention today. Great questions, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.